Hi everybody, I'm Gemma Wheat from Gemma Wheat Makeup Artist. Today I'm going to film a Valentine's Day look, so hopefully you'll like it, and if you want to see any different looks, please feel free to give me ideas. So the first thing I do for a full makeup look is I go in with clean hands with a face primer. So what this is going to do is it's going to help to stick your foundation to your face for a lot longer. I've also gone in 30 minutes before and moisturised my face and put just a lip gloss on like Vaseline just to moisturise your lips. I've used Sicily's, I can't say it, but it's an absolutely fantastic primer. It's a little bit on the pricey side, so a cheaper alternative would be, it's kind of not a primer, but it actually works really well, and it's Nivea Men Sensitive, and you rub it in your hands and rub it on your face until it goes tacky, and that actually works really well, and it's about £3 or £4 for a bottle, so it's a good cheap hack. So next I'm going to go in with my foundation. Again, I'm going in with a pricey foundation because I want a really luminous glow, and this one is what I find a really nice foundation, and that's the Tom Ford in the stick, and I wear it in shade 4, which is Fawn. A cheaper version, L'Oreal do a really nice luminous foundation. Also Dior Skin Forever is one that I wear a lot. It's a beautiful foundation. It's a little bit more on the matte side, and for Valentine's Day I wanted to have that really nice, you can't say natural, but a nice glow from within. So I'm going to go in by just popping some lines on my face to make a really beautiful look. And I'm going to also pop some of the Cover FX Custom Enhancer drops in shade Moonlight, and pop some of this on my face as well, just to mix in to have a really nice glow from within. And then I'm going to blend that out with a beauty blender, just by patting it into the face. It pushes it into the pores more and creates a more natural airbrushed finish opposed to circular motions. You can do this with a brush, with your fingers, whatever you feel comfortable with. I just at the minute like doing it with a beauty blender. So this is my first video. I'm really nervous as well. I'm not the sort of person to put myself out there like this. So you have to just bear with me. If I start rambling, you can see how red my chest has gone. But can't let fear hold you back. It's always important as well to go on the ears slightly. Just tap it on, otherwise you'll end up getting a line around here, and that's a real pet peeve of mine, is when you see girls with a line of foundation coming around here, and it's usually a nice sort of orange line. So as you can see, I'm like most normal women. I have a breakout here, here and here, and an old one here, which we're going to attempt to cover up. It's really important to blend down your neck as well, and just behind your ears, just in case you're wearing your hair up, but also blending down your neck stops any harsh line. Bounced that into the skin and it's looking nice and dewy and glowy. I don't know if you can see. I don't like a really full coverage makeup. Most of the foundations you use, you can build and create either medium to full or sheer to medium. Most of the foundations I buy are medium and you can build them up to full coverage. I don't like it too full coverage because I don't like to feel cakey on my skin. So I just build it up in any areas that are really red or a little bit spotty. Make sure you get really tight around the nose as well. A lot of people forget to go in there and then you end up, you can either get like a bit of a crusty bit here where you've not bounced it into the skin enough, or you've missed it so it can look quite red. Most women have redness around the nose, which is due to hormones. As you can see, I've got some wonderful dark circles. They're courtesy of my 7-year-old Megan and my 10-year-old Annalise. So I'm just gonna go in with Tarte Shape Tape, which is a fantastic concealer in Fair Neutral. Another really good one is Urban Decay Naked Finish, I think it's called. And Benefit do a nice one, Erase Pace as well. So I'm going to go in with that with a pointed beauty blender just so I can get right up into the crease. And again, you pattern it into the skin to create a nice flawless finish. I like to go on my eyelid a little bit as well, and then that provides a primer for your eyeshadows to stay on really well. So when doing concealer, don't just conceal here. You want to go down almost like a V here. And then we're just creating a nice natural highlight on the face. Which will go nice with our contour as well. So, hands up who can do the makeup without pulling really goofy faces, because I know I can't. Not even a little bit. So now I'm going in again with Tarte Shape Tape in light neutral this time. It's a slightly darker one which will match up with my foundation a little bit more. I like to have a shade lighter on my under eye just to brighten the area up, but then I like to match it more on my spots. If you let it just sit just for a little bit, not before it oxidizes or before it starts to dry, it just melts into the skin a little bit more and helps to cover up any blemishes. So just while that's settling, I'm gonna go in with RCMA translucent powder, again on the back of a damp beauty blender, and I'm just gonna create a barrier on my under eye, just like this. It's really super attractive, but it just stops any fallout from your eyeshadow ruining your foundation. You can always go in with your eyeshadow first and do your foundation second, but today I've done it the other way around. So now while that's settling, this is also called baking when you go on the under eye and when you do your contour with it as well. We have stole that from the drag queens themselves because they are awesome. So I'm just again pouncing it into the skin. And as you can see, it just covers slightly better. And for me, that's as much coverage as I want. I don't want to hide everything and have a cakey full makeup. If I was getting married or going to a special event, then yes, I probably would do that. But just for an everyday sort of meal with my husband or a Valentine's Day, whatever you choose to do, this is enough for me. So now I'm gonna go in with, when I can find it, the amazing Jaclyn Hill palette by Morphe. I absolutely love Jaclyn Hill. She's a massive inspiration to me. Quite honestly, Morphe eyeshadows are just one of the best. They're cheap, they're creamy, they're so pigmented, they last so well. And the shade range is incredible. So I shall be going in with some of my, so I'm going in with Morphe M513, you can see. And I'm gonna take just a nice transition shade. So I'm gonna go in with this one in the palette. I'm just gonna blot it off. And I'm just gonna go in the crease of the eye. So all this does is creates a nice transition to help you blend all your other eyeshadows out. And if you do circular motions and windshield wiper motions, it creates a really nice blend with no harsh lines, because we really don't want harsh lines. So concentrating on the outer corner of your eye first and wiggling it right in, pressing that pigment in, and then gently bringing it through to the rest of the crease of the eyeshadow when there's not much product left on. So now I'm going to go in with our next shade. So I'm going to pick up a little bit of this one first. It actually looks a lot darker on camera than it really is. And again, building it into the corner socket first, and then as you've got less and less product on your brush, working it into the rest of the crease. I remember getting told off when I was training, because your natural instinct is to go and blow on your brush, but when you've got a client you can't do that, health and safety, so you have to tap it on the back of your hand. So just thought you'd like to know. I'm full of random information. If any of it was useful, I'd be dangerous. So keeping it quite tight into the crease line, but again still blending, and it's just creating a little bit of depth and dimension into your eye. So then going in with a clean brush, I'm going to go in with Morphe M441, and again it's a nice clean brush, so just make sure that you're blending all them colours together and you've not got any harsh lines. So now going in for our next colour. We're now going to start to deepen the colour out now. So depending on how brave you feel, you can go in with this one, or you could go in with a slightly, you can't see, so either this one or a slightly darker one. I'm going to go in with this one first, which is quite a deep brown now compared to what we've been using. And I'm just going to pat it into the corner of my eye where we're building up most of the product first. And then we're going to start with the circular motions just to create a nice blended out look. Lines on my forehead, clearly in need of Botox. Now going in on my next eye, again patting the colour into the corner of the eye, and then I can bring this closer. Literally got my phone propped up on my daughter's Monster High or Ever After High little table. So you can see now the depth is starting to come in the eyeshadow and into the eye, and you're creating that lovely crease in your eyeshadow. So again, going in with our clean brush, you just want to go and make sure you blend it out, all of those harsh lines. Now I'm going to go in with a smaller brush, where I can find one. So now this is the Morphe M506, so it's a tiny brush now. And I'm going to go in with a much darker brown in the palette. So I'm going in with this one now, just here. And now keeping this really tight into the corner, just running it ever so slightly on the lash line and bringing it up and tight into that crease right on the outer corner. So as you can see, it's just creating almost like a V shape. And then when there's hardly any product left on the brush, you can just sweep it on the back of your hand to see how much is left. Just start to really circular motions in. And then going back in with our clean brush, we're just gonna blend, blend, blend. This is coming out a lot darker on camera than it is in real life. I think I've got really horrendous light. So as you can see, it's just created the depth in the V. So then going in on this eye, doing exactly the same thing, pressing it in on that corner, slightly into the lower lash line and slightly on a B. And then start to do circular motions, windscreen wiper motions. And then going in with our clean brush and just cleaning up any harsh lines that we've got. Sifting through all my brushes to try and find the one I want. I've got a Morphe M432 brush, which is a flat definer. So I'm going to go in with now the darkest of the browns in the palette, which is this one. Sorry, that was my kids coming home. And I'm going to go right across this lash line here. It's also my dog coming home. Just to create a natural eyeliner, but also just to fill in any gaps along the lash line. We're going to smoke this out in a moment. We're just trying to fill in the lash line first before we pop an eyeshadow on the rest of the lid. So it's like a rounded flat brush, and if you spray it with some MAC Fix Plus, or I use Urban Decay Chill spray, and just spray your brush, and then if you go in with your eyeshadow, I'm going to pick up this one in the palette now. It creates a really deeper pigment on the eyeshadow, and it makes the glitter stand out in the eyeshadow a lot more. So as you can see, it's a lot more pigmented, and we can just create almost a cut crease without trying too hard. So then going in with our clean brush, we're just going to make sure there's no harsh lines anywhere with that one. But you can see how much more awake that eye looks now in comparison to this. It's took away the real darkness of the colour. So again, a little squib and into that colour and back onto the other eye. And just gently patting the colour on. And we're not going all the way, we're going about 3/4 of the way. So from the inner corner to about 3/4 of the way across the eyelid. The more colours you use, the more of a transition you get and not such a harsh line, and the softer the look almost. So now again with the clean brush, just making sure we've got no harsh lines. And just tidying that up. And then going back in with our flat definer brush with the darkest colour, we're just going to pat it along the lash line again, but slightly rubbing it in because we're going to just smoke that out slightly. So patting it in across the lash line, like so. And then we want just a really tiny little brush. So I'm going to go in with the Morphe E36, tiny little brush, and just gently smoke out that line so it's not a harsh line. Because if you've not guessed it already, I don't like harsh lines. So now that we've done this, we can sweep away our under eye, which is going to be nicely baked in. Pulling all my little... And we can go in with the flat definer again, and not with the darkest colour, but I would go in with this one, which again looks really dark. So this one in the palette. And then go really close to that lash line, just put in a very tight line, but again not all the way, only about 3/4 of the way in. And then going in with the Morphe E36, a tiny little brush. We're going to pick up some of this colour in the palette now. So one of the first colours we went in with, about the second colour in the palette I think it was. And we're just going to smoke that lash line out now. So there's no harsh lines and it looks nice and soft. So now we've done that, the last thing we need to do on our eyes is just to highlight the area. So by highlighting the area, it creates a soft, dewy look, but it really brightens and opens up the eye. So I'm gonna go in with Makeup Geek, and it's called Shimmer Shimmer. So picking up it on a Morphe M213 brush. I'm going to pop that right on the inner corner of the eye, just to create a really nice bright look. Open the eye right up. And I'm also going to pop it on the top of the brow bone, but just very lightly. You want to make sure you do your eyebrows first before you put your eyeshadow on. I haven't done that because I've got my eyebrows microbladed, which is amazing because I don't have to bother with my eyebrows now, apart from just plucking them. But it just creates a little bit of a highlight under there as well. So now once you've done that, you can go in with your favourite mascara. It hasn't got to be anything fancy, just whatever suits you. At the minute I'm using Benefit They're Real, just a little one I got in a package. And you can either leave this as your own eyelashes. I've got really long eyelashes, so I don't necessarily need to put false eyelashes on. So I'll just pop that on. This is it with just my own eyelashes. As you can see, they're really long, so I don't necessarily need false eyelashes, but I will show you putting them on anyway. So just pop it on the lower lash line as well. So, as you can see, I've literally just blinked as I've put that on, and I've got black mascara under here. That's nothing to worry about. Leave it completely until it dries, and then you can just wipe it off with a cotton bud. Really, really easy. So before I go in with the false lashes, I just want to let that dry. So I'm going to show you how to contour now. So I like the NARS, I think it's the NARS Eta brush, ETA, and Kat Von D Shade and Light palette. As you can see, I've hit pan on most of them, and this one fell out and broke. So I'm going in with the first contour shade on here. And then just really lightly going from the top of the ear, aiming towards the corner of your lip, but only go to about here. So you want to go to about a quarter of the way in on the eye, and just gently pop a line in and soften it as you go, so you don't get any harsh line. And do the same on the other side. Like so. And then going in on the hairline as well, it just, not only does it fill your hairline in a little bit if you're like me and I've got really thin hair, but it also creates depth and dimension to your face and your overall look. So now I'm going to go in with a Morphe M439 brush and just softly, with only the very tiniest amount of product, just blending that in so there's not a harsh line. My husband's trying to be stealth mode and walk in the room. So another good place to contour, especially if you're like me and have got more than one chin, is just to go gently under the chin and along the jawline. Not really dark or really harsh, otherwise you're going to make it look like you've not blended your makeup in. And just gently go down the neckline just to create more of a depth on your jawline. And then going back in with the NARS brush, just following that natural line on your nose, on either side, and just under slightly. that's contouring your nose and making your nose look a nicer shape. So now going in with Tarte Party Blush, which is like a pink with a little bit of mauve in it. And then going along the apples of the cheekbones and up. I think blush is really important. It just creates a little bit more depth and colour to the face. And then my favourite bit is highlighting. So I'm going in with Becca Moonstone. My absolute favourite highlight, again, is Becca, and it's Champagne Pop, which is by Jaclyn Hill. I'm just going in along the top of the cheekbone. Top of the eyebrow, on the highest point of the eyebrow. You can do a little bit on your chin. I don't tend to do it on my chin because I can go a little bit oily and it can make me just look a little bit too shiny. You want to go on the tip of your nose and the end. Again, don't highlight your nose if you don't like your nose, because it will just draw more attention to it. It's the top of the Cupid's bow. And another tip is you can go in just slightly under your bottom lip with your contour powder. Ever so slightly, hardly any powder, and it just creates slight shadow to make your lip look bigger. We all like bigger lips, so, well, I do anyway. And then going in with our false lashes now, when I can find where I've put them. I'm using Sandy Basra, who is a local makeup artist. She does a lot of like Asian wedding makeup, and she does beautiful work. You want to just go in and measure up on your eye first. So you don't want to go right to the very, very corner of your eye because it's going to be uncomfortable. You want to go just slightly in and to the outside and just see where that's sitting. These are sitting just slightly too long, so I'm just going to trim a little bit off. And again, just check again where they're sitting. And then I like to use House of Lashes eyelash adhesive. It sticks like Gorilla Glue to eyelashes. It's pretty awesome. And then you just want to paint a thin line across the eyelash. False eyelashes, they are an art form to put on. It took me a long time to learn how to put them on. It's just practice, 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 practice. Some days they still go on, not the first time. So I've not used these particular eyelashes before, so I'm excited to see what they come out like. You want to wait till the glue goes tacky, so just about sort of 20 seconds. Put them on some tweezers, it's easier to apply. The glue almost goes slightly transparent, you see? It's starting to go transparent, and that's about where you want it. When it goes a bit tacky, just a little bit longer, there's still some white bits. So when it goes a bit tacky and a bit translucent, they're about ready to play with. So making sure you really push that inner corner in, because that's a really telltale sign that you've got lashes on, when the inner corner starts to flick up. And then you almost don't use tweezers for this bit. You can get eyelash, they're kind of a bit like this, but then they've got a round bit that sits on, and they're much, much safer. But as I don't know where mine are, and I've done this 1,001 times, you just want to press the eyelashes and your natural eyelashes together, just to create a really seamless look, so you can't tell that you've got them, that you're wearing false eyelashes. And then just cleaning that little bit of mascara up from when I blinked. And then in with the next one. So as you can see, it creates a much more dramatic look. So if you're not into dramatic eye makeup looks, leave the lashes on, just keep it with your natural lashes. You can even not do as dark an eyeshadow, although again it's really not as dark as it's coming across. I'll try and show you in natural light when we're done. As you can see, it's starting to go tacky now. There's a little bit of white left on there. Again, make sure you really push that inner corner in. And then join your lashes with the false lashes. Ta-da! And then going in with your favourite red, I really like the Morphe liquid lips, and this is called Morphe, and it's a really nice blue red, which is what suits me better. Some women suit an orange red better. And there we have your Valentine's makeup look, isn't it? Take you into the natural light. It's Urban Decay Chill Makeup Setting Spray, and you just want to go in across. And then you kind of don't want to blink for about 20 seconds, just till it's dried in a little bit. But that's going to keep your makeup on and blend it all nicely together. And there we go. So thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it helped. I hope you got some good tips. And I shall see you all soon. Bye.